Unfreedom comes from man's desire to become one of the group. To do this, he must get involved with humanity on a level that is, at least for the most part, politically correct in the eyes of the culture and civilization that he exists in. With men, in regards to women, the desire for unfreedom on a non-public level, the old ball and chain, stems from the man wanting to be a provider or utility for a woman, to create a cooperative relationship and to obtain a goal. In pairing up with a woman, the idea is to procreate, as well as the female providing other services. For example, to properly bring up the children, or light household duties, or, these days, working to bring in extra money. In this way, both parties and the children benefit. Today, combined with hypergamy, so many women prefer usury over cooperation, limiting and temporarily lending out their overvalued services, and at great legal risks to their craftily so-called equal partner. As an analogy, think of a woman as the seller of a car. This car is given to the buyer on the condition that payments are made regularly, essentially obtaining a lease that the buyer agrees to and signs, much like a marriage certificate. However, the seller legally has the inclusive option to take the car back at any time, with impunity, and do anything with that car, including loaning it out again to obtain more profits. However, the original buyer is still legally required to continue to make payments on that car for as long as the courts deem fit. Also, the seller inclusively is given one half of the buyer's worldly goods and assets to also benefit the seller. Here, the judges and legal system are on the side of the lenders because the judges are given edicts from the state, and while the state relies on votes from the lenders and therefore capitulates to the lenders, if the original buyer will not or cannot keep up with his payments, the state imprisons the buyer. This acts as an object lesson for the buyer and as a reminder to other abused and cheated buyers to continue to make their payments or face the consequences. By the same token, with no-fault divorce, a woman can marry a man and freely take advantage of him using the current legal family court system. In the majority of cases, the woman will be given his children, while the man is forced to make payments to the woman, increasing with each additional child. This includes any and all children conceived through cuckolding, deliberate cheating, or adultery, or those children conceived during any previous sexual relationships with other men. On top of this, the woman will receive at least half the assets, business assets, property, retirement savings, and all other savings and goods that the man currently holds, and can receive alimony to be regularly paid perpetually, up to lifetime alimony. Upon death, the wife may claim a significant portion of the estate, regardless of stipulations made in the will by the man, and any provisions laid out for his children and loved ones. Incredibly, this legislation has, to a large part, and in certain places, been carried over to cohabitation arrangements. At some point, once women, and particularly the feminists, came to realize that a condition existed whereby the woman could not take advantage of the man, common law and cohabitation laws quickly entered the scene, while the government bent over backwards to accommodate these women. Men who have never agreed to anything, never given consent, and certainly never signed any license, agreement, or document, are now forced to be held financially responsible for a woman's children, including children previously born before the relationship. Palimony will be paid for a period of time and in monetary amounts dependent on the ambiguous procedures of the court. and the judge. A claim may be made for any amount of property or assets during a settlement, while the courts have been known to be generous to the female claimant. As in divorce and child support cases, any non-payment, even an inability to pay, so often results in contempt of court and incarceration. Unpaid support payments must be made up for in the future. Once the woman has abandoned the marriage or relationship, she is free to find a boyfriend and another provider to partially or fully pay the bills, and to exploit any benefits he may feel obliged to unwittingly provide her, and while, at the same time, continue to receive funds from her ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, or ex-lover. To the ignorant, all this may not seem to be of great concern. However, considering the high divorce and breakup rates, large numbers of men are being taken advantage of, and to a degree that staggers the mind. The divorce rate currently is tottering around 50% in the West, and higher in different countries. Cohabitation breakups have been reported to be of 70% or more. Women are initiating more divorces than men, at rates running from 2-to-1 to 4-to-1. In ever-increasing single-mother households, it is clear that most women are abandoning relationships whenever they choose, and for their own self-interest, and with little or no remorse.